Welcome to Let Us Farm. My name is Emelifon Unuel Oge of Let Us Farm. So today we are going to be talking about spot feeding. Yeah, I have actually done videos on spot feeding, but we have some reactions and some questions and some certain things people want to know about spot feeding. So I will be able to address this issue and help others to really understand what we mean by spot feeding. So don't forget, if you're having any issue with your farm, simply do a 2 to 3 minutes video of this problem and send this thing to me, and I will be able to help you out no matter the situation. And these services are absolutely free. If you've not subscribed to this channel, I simply don't know what you're waiting for. Subscribe to this channel and hit on the notification bell so that once I do any video like this, you'll be the first to know. And don't forget, we don't have any WhatsApp group, we're not forming anything, no Telegram group, nothing. So anybody that sends you any request or anything that this is from Let Us Farm, kindly don't accept that. We don't have it. So I will be right back to discuss this. So welcome back. Now, spot feeding, just like you've seen in the video, is a procedure we use in our catfish farm. It's a procedure we use in feeding the catfishes. So let me explain this. Spot feeding is actually a procedure that when you get to your pond, depending on how your pond is, it could be circumference, it could be round, it could be rectangle. Choose any particular spot that is okay for you, a spot that you like, or you just like to feed your fishes from that spot. So feed your fishes from that particular spot. Now, if for instance you've had like a pet before, like a dog, bird, pigeon, or anything, you discover that the first time you bring this pet to your home, it doesn't actually play with you the way it's playing with you after some time. Reason is that it's afraid of you. It doesn't even understand what's going on, why they transfer from where it was before to where it's going now. So, and seeing new faces is going to be like afraid, So it's same thing with catfish. So the first time you bring the catfish to your pond, you notice that if you start this spot feeding, they are not going to respond. This are part of the problems that people have actually brought to me, to my notice, that this thing doesn't work. But like the video I played now, you can see how on a particular spot these fishes are responding. Now this is what happens. The first time you bring your fishes, introduce them to the pond, depending on how big your pond is. If you have like a pond that is so big, the fishes will swim out on eating pond, go very far. They are only trying to explore. They don't even understand what's going on. Now choose a spot you want. The first time you come, just put very tiny food. The ones that are close by will come and then eat. Then don't worry, after some hours, these fishes, the hunger will be growing. Like I said, in eating pond, some of them may still be playing inside the pond. They won't even care to eat till the next day. But that's no problem. So when you want to feed again the second time, you come back, do same thing. The number that is coming will be gradually increasing. The next day, continue. Within 1 week, you discover that 80 to 90% of them would now understand that, oh, at this place, there's always food. So they will always come there. Then once you keep on doing that for over a time, all the fishes will now know. Even when you are not there, they will always go to that spot to look for feed. This is one of the advantages of spot feeding. So it means that you can be able to call your fishes anytime you want. So if you want to know how the fishes are doing, once you stand there, they are going to come. Now, if you are someone who understands the business and keeps to time, let's say you feed your fishes by 8 in the morning and 5 in the evening. You discover that by 8 in the morning, even if you are not there, you can peep from somewhere. You see that there will be movement on that particular spot, because naturally, their body system will tell them the time, the hours. They will just go there and start looking for you. Even in the afternoon before you come, they will always be there. You see, you have already changed their idea to understand exactly what's going on. Now, some people also, they brought this issue that the fishes will be injuring yourself when they are doing spot feeding. Now, I don't know if by chance you have been able to try to catch your fish while they're inside the pond swimming. If you put your hand to catch your fish while they are swimming, it's almost impossible for you to do that. The reason is their body. Their body is streamlined. So once your hand touch it, the fish will just move and then go forward. So the only reason why your fishes will get bodily injury during feeding is that you have low water in your pond and you overstocked your pond. If you don't have any of these two, the fishes can never get injured, because one, they can't come to that kind of close contact. They only do that when the water there is very low, so they lose friction. Then when you have overstocked the pond, there is no population, there is no space for them to move. That's it. But if there is enough water and there's enough space in your pond, they can never injure themselves during spot feeding. They will always come there to eat. Now, this is what people don't understand about spot feeding. When you first feed, when you put the feed, you put small feed, you see your fishes are eating. They are eating, at a time they stop. Then what you are supposed to do is to stop. Give them 5 to 10 minutes, come back, put your hand again. The ones that are not okay will come back to eat. Then there are some that when they saw others going back, they decide to go back. When they now saw some coming back, they will come again to eat. So they will come and join in eating. If they stop again, just hold on. Stop. Then come back in another 10 minutes. Just stand around, come back in another 10 minutes and try to feed. Then there are these ones that are always very slow, the runs. That's when they will come to eat. So when you are doing spot feeding, you actually encourage all the sizes in your pond to grow at almost the same size. So even those very small ones will be able to eat to grow, because it's when they eat they grow. If they don't eat, they can't grow. There's nothing. They can drink water to survive, but they cannot grow to the size you are looking for when there is no food, because the food actually gives them the nutrients they need for growth and not water. So this is what spot feeding does. Then some people will tell me that no, when they scatter feed, the ones that are left on top, the fishes will come and eat it later. This is not correct. Reason why it's not correct is that fishes don't eat soggy food. So when you put food in the pond and they get soaked, the fishes will never eat it. Then if you're using concrete pond, tarpaulin pond, and tanks, what happens is that this feed you put on top that are floating will sink down and pollute the water. So they won't eat it. So instead, those things will go down and constitute nuisance for the fishes and for you, because they will now make some of the fishes to keep dying, and you'll be wondering what's killing your fish. So, but if you are doing spot feeding, you discover that it helps you to reduce that wastage on the pond. And even with spot feeding, it helps you to manage your feed, because those ones that would have wasted because you are just flinging your fishes around, your feed around, will not be wasted. So you will see it there. You will see it there to control how they eat, quantity of, you are sure that they are the ones even eating this feed and not just wasting the feed. So if you can be able to take your time, the only problem about spot feeding is that you will need patience to be able to feed your fishes. But the truth is that if you want to succeed in catfish business, you need patience. So if you cannot have patience and you want to do catfish business, my best advice is get someone who can have that patience, who you can trust to be able to do that business for you. If not, everything you'll be doing will be wasted, because these fishes, they need time, they need patience for them to be able to eat and respond as you want them to do. So if you don't do these things, practically you are just wasting your time. So spot feeding is very, very essential in catfish farming. And let me tell you, like when we started, we didn't have what you call fish net. So on 18 pond that time, I lost many of my fishes due to snake invaded my pond. I never knew. How did I know? Because each time I come to feed at the spot, I see the number of fishes that come. But then again, when the thing was not happening, when I come, I only see small quantity coming. That's when I now started to find out what's going on. I now pumped out the water and discovered that I had practically nothing under the pond. When I drained the water and got to find about fishing net, started using it, we caught the snake. Now, if I was not using spot feeding, I just come and just broadcast feed and go, I wouldn't know what's happening, because if I come the next day, I will not see any feed there. So I will be thinking, oh, they are eating. How do you want to survive with doing those kind of things? It doesn't work. So my advice to you is try and do spot feeding. It really helps. Your fishes will not have any bodily injury like people say. All these things are just fairy tales. So if you have any other questions, or if you want me to explain further on this, kindly use the comment section. And until I come your way next time, keep farming. It's a way of life.